Now on this channel we've looked at some very expensive projectors and we've also looked at some very budget ones. So I was really intrigued when the team from Artlii reached out to me and said, take a look at this, it's a 720p projector, we think you're going to be really impressed, and the price is only $130. Let's take a closer look. So I said, yep, send it on through, and a few days later it arrived in this pleasant little box with a nice foam protector, and inside the bag was the projector. Now, many projectors that are even lots more expensive than this, in the thousands of dollars, don't actually look that much from the outside, and this actually wasn't too bad. I was really pleased with the inputs. It had an SD card slot, it had 2 HDMIs and a USB, and obviously your headphone and AV, and on the other side it also had the benefit of a VGA input, which I was really surprised about. On the top at the front of the projector is the focus ring and also the keystone correction ring, and at the back you've got all of the buttons so that you can actually operate this projector very well without having to use the supplied remote control. So let's look at some of the specs of this machine. Now it is a 1280 by 720 resolution, which means it's 720p. It has 2000 lumens, 2000:1 contrast ratio, and it has a screen size recommendation of up to 180 inches. A built-in Dolby speaker is a nice touch, we'll test that, and also it has keystone correction. Now, the lamp life for this device says up to 45,000 hours, which if true, I'm not going to be testing that guys, but if true, that is impressive. And I also like the fact that it's got a 3-watt speaker built in and an SD card slot. Now, another thing I really liked was the fact that it came with a flat HDMI cable, which is great if you're running it under a floor or under a carpet, for instance, and also included is a very standard remote control, which again looks simple, which I like, but we'll test the efficiency of that when we turn the device on. Right, so now it's time to get this projector fired up and hooked up to a source. Now, one thing that I forgot to mention when I did the overview of the actual projector is that you do have this screw on the front which you can then raise the projector up, which makes it easier to actually position the screen. Now, I'm going to let you know about the sound quality and also how it performs in a light environment, so just watch this as it starts. So this screen bar LED lamp from BenQ offers the perfect lighting solution for your desk. Now, the great thing about this is that it doesn't require plugging into any mains. It works with any monitor, and you can change the tone to suit your needs, or you can just literally set it to go automatic. So let's now see the picture difference with the lights off. Now, as you can see, the picture is a lot better. It definitely pops out the screen a bit more. Now we'll try that again just to show you the difference. Definitely a marked improvement. So this is definitely a lights off projector. So we're just going to run through a selection of different images now, and this will be a selection of my YouTube videos, some 4K footage which obviously is being shown in 720, and also some game footage. So I think the projector does really well. Now the colours seem crisp, they seem true to life. I've got this in vivid mode, so there are different modes that you can have this, and I thought it did a really good job. Now, one thing that you'll notice, and is completely reasonable with all projectors at this end of the market, is that you will see some degrading of the image around the edges. Now, it will give you almost like a slight dome type effect, but it's not really noticeable unless you blow it up really big. It is more noticeable when you look at text, and I'll show you that in just a second. But the larger you go with this image, you'll find that they'll have that dome effect, and so the edges will be definitely more out of focus than the middle. But this is around about 110 inches, and you can see it's not that bad. Here is the text that I was on about. So this again is completely expected at this price range, and you probably need to spend, I don't know, in the $300 mark to get something which didn't have that same issue. So that's worth bearing in mind. Now, if you're going to be using this as a presentation type projector, then you know, you don't really want to. It's not bright enough, and you've got that text issue. But if you're looking at this for a movie projector, this is your first projector for instance, then the screen quality is great, the image quality is great for the right type of source. Providing you turn the lights off, then you're going to get images like this, which I think the most people would be happy with. Now, I would say a couple of caveats to this is that I did notice in post-production that there was a little mark on the screen, and so I apologize for that if you've you've noticed that and it's distracted you, that's my bad. I should have noticed that beforehand, but I just didn't see it as I was filming. But guys, in summary, for the money, and it's all about value for money, I think this ticks the box. It's not the top range projector, which is like $500 or $1,000, but for something which just costs over $100, it's definitely worth your consideration. Thanks for watching this video as always, my friends. I will see you on the next one.